Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that little training day morning routine. It is actually a Saturday today, but we're still up early and getting it done. As you saw, we're currently starting the day with a 20-minute fasted walk. It just allows us to get some pre-food steps in and also helps me to wake up a bit. We got back, had meal number 1, which was a smoothie consisting of oats, AGF protein powder and some raspberries as well. Looks quite heavy to have so close to training, but I actually find it sits really well, which is good. And now onto the session. Even though I went for a walk first thing in the morning, I still like to get 5 minutes in on the treadmill before I hit legs, just to get some blood flow to the joints and allow me a bit more time to switch on for it, because it is a bigger, more taxing session. Started off with hamstring curls on this Strive machine. One of my favorite hamstring curl machines. You can set the resistance profile on it, so you can have it so it's heavier at the top of the movement, bottom of the movement, wherever you want. Really, really handy to have. Now onto pendulums. This gives me a chance to talk a bit about how my sets are structured. So I recently got a new coach that has introduced me to a way of training that I've not done before. I'm actually really enjoying. Most exercises will only have 2 sets. One will be 6 to 8 reps and one will be 10 to 12 reps, but we're going balls to the wall within those sets. There are some exercises where this rule doesn't apply, but it basically allows us to slightly tap into more of the strength style rep range as well as the hypertrophy style rep range. So you'll see here, I'm not going to complete failure, but if I were to squeeze out another rep, I would probably have to be pulled out of the machine. And that's kind of the approach we're taking. We're making sure that we're stressing the muscle enough for it to actually want to grow, because you've got to remember that your body doesn't want to build muscle. That's why you've got to force it in the gym. You've got to force it to basically grow. Now onto good old leg press. This is my legs B session, which means we're programmed a mid-wide foot placement. This is just because the wider you go, the more your adductors will come into play, providing that your depth is good enough. And this is something that I'm actually really needing to improve on. I reckon most people's nans have more mobility than me, so I find it hard to really get that stretch that some people can get. I also injured myself a few years ago in my ego lifting days, just from pressing way more than I could actually handle. I felt something pop in my outer quad and couldn't walk properly for a few days after, so probably got some form of tear in there somewhere. Should have got it checked out, but never actually went to see anyone about it. Probably not the best idea. Definitely, if you feel something like that happen, probably best to go and see someone and get it checked out first. But yeah, live and learn. So yeah, now that's just always in the back of my head whenever I'm going heavy on leg press. So something I need to work on too. So now onto the prime lying leg curl, another great machine that allows you to set the resistance profile. It's quite customizable. Here's where I actually should have been doing RDLs though, but I twinged on my back on Wednesday, so I didn't want to risk any hip hinge movements. I've got this set so that I can get a really good stretch on the way down. This is just trying to mimic the stretch that I would get from RDLs as much as I can, basically. Now onto the abductor machine. This is another one that's gonna really highlight the lack of mobility in my hips there. You can see that I don't really get as far as some people can get. Some people can have it on the max setting and just like load it up. I'm still yet to get there, but we'll get there eventually. And then lastly, just finishing off on some standing hamstring curls. This is a great little movement just to allow you to target the hamstrings individually. Helps prevent, getting biased to one side and everything. So time to go home and get meal number 2 in, which will be banana and unrivaled nutrition, rapid recovery. So we'll get that in and then we'll enjoy the rest of the day. So I have decided to enter my first natural bodybuilding competition. It is the WNBF First Timers on June 16th, which means we're sitting at 17 weeks out currently. Prep is officially underway as of last week, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to do a little series on YouTube and just sort of track how I'm going throughout it and keep track of all changes. A little bit of a personal log, so I'll basically show you what it's going to take for me to get to that stage level lean and all the things that come with it. So we're going to be trying to cover things like food, supplements, training changes, everything like that. But I won't be doing it alone. I have got a great coach behind me, a guy called Robert Waterhouse. He is an IFBB pro, and he was recommended to me by a mate of mine who competes as well, naturally. So shout out Rob Wanacott, thanks for the help there. I'll use this video as a way to show you the starting point of where we're at. So I'll chuck some physique pictures on the screen now, just to show you where we're currently at. This is, don't judge the posing because this is, this early stages. I still have a lot to learn on that front, and that's something that we will be going over with my coach as well. Calorie wise, this is where we are at the moment. So on a training day, it's 2,955 calories, and that is broken down into 194 grams of protein, 421 grams of carbs, and 39 grams of fat. And then on a rest day, we have a bit less, so we are going for 2,697 calories, and that has a breakdown of 197 grams of protein, 318 grams of carb, and 58 grams of fat. So lower carb, higher fat on a rest day. I'll let you know how this changes throughout the coming weeks, but this is just where we're starting from. One thing that is actually looking to change is currently on the rest days, I have a macro meal, which is basically 650 calories. I've got some set macros in there. I can have whatever I want, providing it's clean, so we're not having chocolates, ice cream, things like that, unfortunately. I have a massive sweet tooth, so I'm trying to manage that in the process. So yeah, that is now being changed to a planned meal. So I'll find out the details from that, and then I can update in the next video as to where we're at with that. And in this week's check-in, we also found out that we're getting HIIT training added as well. Scale weight has been coming down, but it's just to give it that little extra nudge. So it'll be basically 10 minutes on the cross trainer, a minute and a half at around level 6, and then followed by 30 seconds of going balls to the wall, highest level difficulty on the cross trainer. And then once you've done 30 seconds of that, going back to a minute and a half, brisk pace, level 6 again, and then going back up to balls to the wall for 30 seconds again. Repeating that 5 times. So that'll be, I think I'm going to prefer that to doing hours and hours on the Stairmaster. It's just going to be, 10 minutes added on to 2 of my sessions. So it will be on Monday and Friday I'll be doing them. So great way to start the week and end it as well. Weight wise, as you saw at the start of the video, it was 81.9 in the morning. Since we started, so I actually started with Rob about 6 weeks now. We started on 84.7, I believe. So we've dropped quite a bit already, but that's just from me doing the meal plan, and codes are slightly lower than what I was on before, at the start of the year. But I think cleaning up the diet just caused me to, for whatever reason, just drop scale weight quite quickly, which is cool. This is actually so I'm on a meal plan at the moment, and this is actually the first time I've ever done a meal plan. I've been training for 8 years. So it's long overdue, because it is, without a doubt, probably the best way to do things from a consistency standpoint. You'll see a lot of the top coaches will probably recommend it. I know that like I said, I've got a bit of a sweet tooth, so I kind of always did an if it fits your macro style thing, where I try and sneak in like you know, chocolate bars and things like that if I needed to when I was cutting before. Whereas now it's just like strict, dedicated. We have a plan of action. The food that's going in is serving a purpose, and that purpose is to get to stage lean. So yeah, I'm just going to follow along with what he says and do what we can to get there, basically, and take you guys along with me and see if it's something that you'd be interested in following along with. But yeah, leave it at that for this video. I'll check in again next week and I'll let you know what's changed over the coming weeks, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.